On Monday, the entire PlayStation network exploded, dragging all non-slim PS3s along with it. While most fanboys feared the end of the world was at hand, Sony found out that their console, which is so much more advanced than Microsoft's Xbox 360 or Nintendo's Wii, was actually suffering from the Y2K bug, a bug that scared the hell out of people and would kick us back into prehistoric times 10 years ago. 24 hours later, the problem was fixed by a software update, but Microsoft and Nintendo have been reported to have almost died from laughing. To make up for this major proof of stupidity, Sony decided to announce a big surprise this week. While everyone was hoping for something like a new Killzone, Resistance or Little Big Planet, the surprise was actually that the announcement was quite a downturner by itself. SOCOM 4 is coming and it will be developed by Zipper Interactive. Yay! But not really. Who cares about SOCOM with multiplayer for up to 32 when we got going in Mac with up to 256? As if one disaster isn't enough to last us a week, Activision decided to kidnap Infinity Ward heads Vince Zampella and Jason West to put them in a small room without windows where they were interrogated for over 6 hours. Meanwhile, stormtroopers were sent out to the Infinity Ward building to secure the place until Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, by Brutal Legend creator Tim Schafer also referred to as The Beast, would give a statement. Both men were reported to be sacked, after which they got drunk and decided to sue Activision for over $36 million in unpaid royalties. They also state they want to have the rights to Modern Warfare, which might be an issue for Activision if they win, as Bobby already stated he wants to milk the series. Indeed, already 3 games appear to be in development. The supposed Call of Duty Vietnam by Treyarch, an undisclosed Call of Duty that's supposed to be released next year and might be created by what's left of Infinity Ward, and then there's a new action-adventure Call of Duty that will be created by Sledgehammer Studios, which is formed by Dead Space veterans Glenn A. Schofield and Michael Condrey. While we wait for the action-adventure Call of Duty in space and see Activision milk the franchise until there's nothing left, we can expect Vince and Jason to get a settlement in court, form a studio that will create some new first-person shooter franchise which remarkably looks a lot like Modern Warfare, and then sell off their new studio to either EA or Ubisoft. After all, this sounds a lot like what happened with the Medal of Honor franchise, that's the original one, not the reboot, when both men decided to bail out of their previous studio, 2015. Time for some reviews then. We checked out Bioshock 2, which unsurprisingly is like Bioshock 1, but with less story, more action. This time you play as a Big Daddy, but instead of your ordinary version, you're a prototype that seems to be better. If you've played Bioshock 1 and liked it, you'll probably feel the same about Bioshock 2, even though there's less story. In exchange we do get multiplayer, but that isn't anything to write home about. We also checked out Toy Soldiers, a World War I XBLA tower defense game, which might even appeal to shooter fans thanks to the fact that you can control your units yourself if you want to. The game is action-packed, contains some comedy, and the only down points we could find were that the camera could be better, there's too few different units, and you can't put your toy soldiers in the microwave to see them melt after playing the game. On Blu-ray we had a look at Halloween 2 this week. Rob Zombie already created a Halloween reboot by pushing all previous movies together into one film without Jamie Lee Curtis, and even though the result of that was already quite bad, he must have thought it can be worse. And it is. Halloween 2 is boring from the start, has incredibly bad acting, and is as tense as waiting for a train to pass by when you live in the woods surrounded by trees. The only really good thing about this entire movie is that everybody dies, including Michael Myers, who finally takes off his mask even. But wait, Rob Zombie is already writing a 3rd Halloween movie? Can it get worse? Well, Rob seems determined to prove so. We started with a bang, so let's end with one as well. nVidia has released some new drivers which have a special feature that they make your graphics card melt when you play 3D games.